Good morning everybody from Hobart International Airport. My name is Hugo and today I'm going to be taking a flight aboard one of Jetstar's A320ceos, just like that one in the background which I just arrived off of, but a different one, from here in Hobart up to Sydney. This is the second of 4 Jetstar flights I'm taking today. Jetstar's just launched a new menu and so I think I might check that out on this flight. Anyway, let's go and do something. Don't know what. Since I've already arrived airside in Hobart, I don't think I'll bother going landside. I can just get a boarding pass printed at the gate. Now, Hobart Airport's currently got a temporary Qantas club, since the airport's being renovated and so the other one can't be used. It might be getting renovated as well, I think. That would make sense. I had access to this lounge today thanks to my Qantas Gold status, because you can access Qantas lounges with Qantas Gold status when travelling on Jetstar. When I first got to the lounge, aside from staff, there was no one else there. I guess since there's no Qantas flights for a couple hours. The furniture isn't anything special, but it's still nicer and stuff than most of Qantas lounges. The food and drink selection is very basic. At least there's a coffee machine and there is alcohol.
Final boarding call for all Jetstar passengers travelling to Melbourne on JQ700. Boarding will now be closing out of gate number 4. Thank you.
There's no bathroom in this lounge, since apparently I think it's where a gate lounge area used to be. So I'm now in the temporary Qantas Club lounge here, since Hobart Airport's getting renovations, so the normal one's not open. The temporary lounge here is very basic, but the furniture's nicer than most of Qantas domestic lounges. There's my ride to Sydney. Victor Hotel, Victor Golf Zulu is a 2009 built Airbus A320-232 which was delivered new to Jetstar Airways. It's equipped with IAE engines.
Hi everyone, may I have your attention please? This information is for Jetstar passengers travelling to Sydney on JQ718. Check-in and bag drop for your service is now closing.
My flight's been delayed 35 minutes due to fog in Sydney. On this day there was some really thick fog in Sydney, which I think caused some delays right across Australia, particularly in the morning. They're asking for cabin bags to be tagged, which they didn't in Melbourne. Boarding did end up starting around 9:10, which was originally the departure time.
Hello, how are you?
Good, thanks, how are you?
Good, thank you. Are you flying by yourself?
Yeah.
How old are
6'2".
you?
Thank you. Welcome on board one of Jetstar's A320ceos, featuring 186 Recaro BL3530 seats in a 3-3 configuration. By the way, before the flight, I was offered via email a $20 voucher to change my flight. That was interesting, I don't think I've seen it before. I guess this flight was full and others weren't, so they wanted to free up space. I didn't take up the offer though. My seat for this flight will be 21A. Here's the recline situation, pretty standard. The seat back padding's not too bad actually for a low-cost carrier. Now let's take a look at the rest of the seat features. Legroom's average at 28 to 29 inches, but I'm short and so I can deal with it for a short flight. There's a standard seat back pocket and also a tray table. There's also a literature compartment. I'm going to try something from the new menu on this flight. And then on the sides of the seat you'll find coat hooks, though I think the aisle seats only have one coat hook.
Manager and the rest of our lovely crew, I'd like to welcome you on board our Jetstar flight through to Sydney. Not sure what you've been told in the terminal, but the reason for the delay this morning is Sydney has fog So as you can imagine, that just slows everything down, and they can only they need a greater distance between arriving and departing aircraft. So unfortunately, they can't process as many aircraft as they usually would do. It's all meant we've been delayed just a little over half an hour. At this stage, the earliest that we can push back is in 10 minutes' time. Once we do get underway, a reasonably short taxi back to the departure runway. And right at the moment, Sydney has a cloud base of 500 feet, 13 degrees and a light westerly breeze. Once we do get underway, flight time of 1 hour and 35 minutes. There is a forecast of some bumps in the lower levels, so we'll probably keep the seatbelt sign on for a little longer than we normally would, just to make sure you're safe. So we'll get back to you once we're underway with updated arrival time and weather details. But welcome, once again, welcome on board.
So if there is anything that you do need, please don't hesitate to ask.
Hello again. We want you to have a safe and enjoyable flight. So please listen closely while we take you through the safety requirements for our Airbus A320.
It's now time for pushback, about 32 minutes behind schedule. By the way, if you're enjoying this video so far and you'd like to see more like it, then please consider liking and subscribing. It'd help me and the channel out a heap and would be very much appreciated. Also, I post updates of my trips on my Instagram at aviation763_, so feel free to check that out. If you don't want to do any of that though, that's completely okay. It's now time for takeoff on runway 30. buy on board trolley came around not too long after takeoff, and this time there were a few people buying stuff. Jetstar's new menu has a lot of the same stuff, with a few additions and I imagine with that removals. Unfortunately, there's no new international hot meals. I do like some of the things they've added though. I tried the new loaded cookie, which was very tasty. Jetstar streaming entertainment was again available on this flight.
Service to Sydney. Hope you enjoyed yourself so far on the flights. At the moment, we're just approaching our descent point into Sydney. Just been given for the last 40 minutes or so a slowdown from air traffic control just due to congestion this morning due to fog and some weather abouts. Anticipating getting some more direct tracking to Sydney and starting our descent and approach pretty soon. Our system showing a touchdown time of about 11:34 this morning and about 7 minutes after that onto the bay. I hope the delay hasn't affected you too much today, and thank you for your appreciation. Look forward to seeing a Jetstar aircraft in the near future.
As we descend into Sydney, please allow me to conclude this flight with Jetstar. I didn't do check-in or anything in Hobart, but online check-in works well. A temporary Qantas club in Hobart is still better than nothing, as it's a quieter space and there's some food and drinks, but it's really not great. But at the same time, it's kinda hard to complain when I paid as little as I did for this flight. Boarding was fine, there were no groups or anything, just boarding through the front and back. The seat's fine for this 1.5 hour flight. The buy on board selection is great and price is pretty standard. The delay isn't Jetstar's fault and the new time was actually pretty accurate, so that's all good. The cabin crew have been pretty friendly, but I haven't interacted with them much. So overall, a good experience with Jetstar, fantastic really for the price I paid, which I'll talk more about that in another video. We'll soon pull into the gate about 40 minutes late, but for now please enjoy the rest of the approach and landing on Sydney Kingsford Smith International Airport's runway 34 left.
Welcome to Sydney, where we recognise the traditional custodians and their connection to country. Current time is 11:37. Please keep your seatbelt fastened and remain seated until the seatbelt sign has been switched off. Smoking, vaping and e-cigarettes are strictly prohibited on the tarmac and inside the terminal building. When you use the stairs today, please take your time and ensure that you hold on to the handrail as you go down the stairs. If your phone is within reach, you can switch it off flight mode. Just remember that you're unable to use it on the tarmac. We would like to take this opportunity to thank you for choosing to fly with Jetstar today. It's been our pleasure having you fly with us, and we do hope you include Jetstar in your future travels. Thank you and good morning.
I'd like to take this time now to thank you all so much for watching this video. I'd also like to thank all of my incredible Patreons for helping to make these videos possible. Their support is truly so much appreciated, and I couldn't do what I do without them. So thank you so much to them.
Guidance to be turned on to our bay before we can approach, so if you could just please remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened till we come to a stop and turn the seatbelt sign off. Thank you.
Once again, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing day, and I look forward to hopefully seeing you in my next one next Saturday at 5 PM Melbourne time.